Hello, beautiful creators. Rebecca here, your Vibe Mentor, here to bring you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Wanted to chat with you today about a conversation that came up in my reality in the recent weeks, and it's really something that has been sitting with me, and I believe is becoming more prevalent in the spiritual community, and it's something that I would like to toss out my thoughts on and hopefully hear back from you on what your thoughts are. And the question was posed in a Facebook group. What is going on with all of these spiritual people who are transitioning from spirituality to religion? And I think Doreen Virtue was kind of one of the main examples that was given, but there was a list of other people. And as I've mentioned, I grew up in a very religious home. My father was a minister, extreme focus on guilt and shame and repentance, and you're going to hell and you're in sin, you're a sinner, just brokenness all around. And so, as you know, I would have an opinion on both sides because I did for a while get away from that and have more experiences on the metaphysical side and looking at tarot cards and astrology and all the things that the church would say are evil. And I'm not claiming to have the answer here or the right opinion. Certainly, we all need to get right with our Creator and find our truth as it relates to Him. And I say that very carefully because we don't get to just say Big Macs are good for us and that is my truth. We have to really, really be honest and discerning and check in with our guidance to find the truth. And so my perspective on this was that these people may be looking for the middle ground. And I know Doreen Virtue was in the church, went over to Metaphysics, and then went back to the church. And there are so many good things in the church. If you find a good church who is truly, truly driven by what is right and doing good and being Christ-like, then that could be a supportive atmosphere. What I don't subscribe to is, again, that brokenness. And that is not to say that we should have ego or that we are perfect, but rather that the perception that has been chosen of brokenness is rather an incompleteness, that we were made. There's literally a part of our brain that is made to house God, that we are God's sparks. We were made in His likeness. We were given creative gifts that resemble His creation, that resemble His creative abilities. We are incomplete without Him. And when we try to live a life with pure ego driving things, then we're going to feel broken. We're going to experience difficult situations. I'm not arguing for one side or the other. I really do believe that there is a middle ground here where, like I said, growing up in the religion, it was the organized religion. It was the abuse of power. It was the ego that got in the head of the minister or my father that really broke down what could have been a healthy, safe place. And on the other side, I do also believe that you have to be very, very careful if you're playing with cards or with channeling or even astrology, because you are trying to play God, and you are possibly opening yourself up to lower entities that are posing as spirit guides or higher powers or Pleiadians or whatever that might be. And we are so new to this that we have yet to really hone in on what is of the highest divinity. My daughter's homesick, so if you hear anything in the background, we're just going to have to work with that today. And I'm not poo-pooing or shaming anyone for any choice, right? And if you follow me at all, I'm very much of the belief that you have a relationship with your creator, and that's between you and your creator, and it is no one's place to say what's right for you. And I would say that we have to be very, very cautious and very, very careful that we're not choosing what we want or choosing what we desire or choosing what we like or what we prefer, that we are really, really getting raw and being super, super honest with ourselves, because self-deception is real and it will happen very, very easily if we are not careful. And that requires the humility necessary to say, I'm not God. And I know this is a debate that, people feel that because we are made in the image of God or we are made in the likeness of God, that we are gods. And that is not the case. That ultimately we were gifted these abilities, and it is our responsibility to only create within the guidance of our Creator. And so, as far as why do these people, leave metaphysics and go over to religion, I would just suggest, or I suspect my perception is from this angle and viewpoint, that there is a middle ground. There is a middle ground between religion and metaphysics. And, Christ, in my opinion, was yes, the Son of God. We are all children of God, and not to say that we are any better than him or even equal to, because he somehow managed to do it perfectly. But he came to be the example of how we are to live, that we have those healing abilities. We have the ability to love your brother as you love yourself. We have the ability to live Christ-like lives, and certainly not without some divine support. But that, there are things within not only the Christian religion, but also in the Buddhism and in Buddhism and in all of the religions, there has been wisdom and knowledge that was passed down through these sacred texts that are instructions on how to live. And it is the division to say you're right and you're wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong, that actually causes the problem. That things are never black and white, that it very often that the analogies that were used get taken as literal fact, and in some cases it may be, and in some cases it may not be. And that's where, again, this all goes back to your relationship with your Creator and tapping into that divine source of knowledge and wisdom and discernment, because it's difficult to navigate. And so while I do not subscribe to guilt and shame, that our creative abilities are inhibited by this, and that these tendencies or these programs that we were subconsciously programmed through either organized religion or society have limited our creative abilities and limited our God-given gifts and our especially our healing abilities, that those are if anything the darkness, the entities that we need to be careful of, because literally you will feel almost possessed by this fear or these haunting thoughts or this self-doubt or lack of self-worth, when really at the end of the day, you are a spark of the divine Creator. You have tremendous abilities, and that's why they want to keep you down, is because they know that if they can create fear, if they can create lack, and they can make you doubt your worthiness, they can make you doubt your value. And everything I do boils down to your value. You are a beautiful creator, and you are a necessary part of the whole. You are designed perfectly and perfect for your purpose, and that the world needs that special gift that only you have, because you have a unique fingerprint. You have a unique gift. And everything inside of us, when we feel that dark night of the soul, when we feel the depression, when we feel the anxiety, it's our soul's cry for the truth of who you are, that there are beings, entities, whatever you want to call them, the darkness, the devil, it doesn't matter what label. A rose by any other name still smells as sweet. You don't change the truth just by switching your perspective or claiming my truth. these things, these beings, this spiritual war that we are in wants you to believe that you are little, wants you to believe you are insignificant. And I get a rush of like the solar plexus just lights up on fire, because this is our power, you guys. I'm covered in goosebumps. We are phenomenally beautiful, amazing creatures. We are the most important creation on this planet. And they want us to believe we're an accident. They want us to believe we're broken. They want us to believe there's something wrong with us. They want us to believe that we are little and powerless, and we are debt slaves. We have to keep going to work for them so that we can pay our taxes and help keep them rich. They want us to believe that we're small. And that's why we have played small for so long. And we have to realize that it doesn't matter if you identify as a Christian, or you identify as a Buddhist, or you identify as a spiritualist, or you identify as metaphysical. It doesn't matter. Again, a rose by any other name. You are still a God spark. Period. There is no changing that. No matter how much they try to reprogram our subconscious, you will always be special. You will always be an important piece of the whole, and you will always be needed, and you will always be able to turn at any given point in time into that truth and into that peace, into that joy, into your connection, into the peace and the happiness and the joy and the fun of playing with your creator and co-creating together a beautiful heaven on earth. And I realize I sound a little preachy right now, but this is everything. This is everything for me. This is everything it's all about. This is why. This is purpose to life. This is the point of life, is to create and to have fun and to love each other and to come together. And so, yeah, the conversation of, why did they turn back to Christianity, or, why did they leave spirituality? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What matters, unfortunately, is if you get so caught up in the guilt and shame that you feel less than, and you are unable to contribute, and you are unable to love your neighbor, or to help heal, or to help create something beautiful. And the same goes for spirituality. If you get so hung up on what did the cards say, or what does the astrology say, or what does my channeling say, you're giving your power away. Again, even though it kind of seems like it's internal, it's still putting your power in other external things, when the only source of guidance that we need to go to is our creator. Again, and you'll see me do this a lot, because it's a reminder that your chakras, your spine, your kundalini energy, right? It all runs through you. There's a connection, a straight connection to God, and we need to just go straight up. God, divine, universe, source, creator, call it what you will. Again, a rose by any other name. Does not matter, but that needs to be our only source of guidance. Yes, our angels and our guides are there to help us and protect us, and they're there to journey with us, and they can kind of shove you out of the way from the car that's about to hit you. But at the end of the day, our guidance needs to come from our creator, and that needs to remain our only truth, the truth for all of us. And yes, ground into your mother. She is beautiful. She is there to support you and to heal you. She is, again, a creation of our creator, created for us, to hold us, to nurture us, to provide for us, to care for us. It is our responsibility to reciprocate that energy to everyone and everything around us. And we are creative beings. That's why I start my video the same way every time. You are a beautiful creator. Don't you forget that. And you are creating all the time, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And hopefully we can move you into conscious creation so that you can command and request those creative abilities from your creator and co-create with your divine guidance. Rant finished. I love you guys so, so much. And there's just little things like this, and they all add up. And the layers of the onion just keep coming off, and it becomes more and more beautiful. The more we surrender, the more we live in the now, the more we connect, the more we follow our guidance and put down the judgments, put down the resistance. It's all so beautiful. So if you would like to come journey with me, you know where to find me. Otherwise, I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Namaste, friends.